So the minimum eligibility for ISB depends on the program that you choose to apply to. For example, if you're applying to the ISB YLP, then the eligibility for the ISB YLP program is that you should be a final or a pre-final year student. If you're applying to the ISB early entry option, then you need to be a graduate but not yet completed 24 months of work experience. If you are applying to the ISB PGP, then the minimum eligibility for applying to the ISB PGP is going to be a minimum of 24 months of work experience along with a graduate or equivalent qualification to support you. If you're applying to the ISB Executive MBA programs, which is the ISB PGP Pro or the ISB PGP Max, in the case of ISB PGP Pro, you need to have a minimum of 5 years of work experience. You do not need a GMAT or a GRE score to submit your application for the ISB PGP Pro. It is a program for the professionals who are still working and who want to continue with their MBA while they are working and continue working while they are pursuing their MBA. So it is not a full-time program, it is a weekend MBA program. Then the other program that ISB offers is the ISB PGP Max. This is the world ranked executive MBA program for which the minimum eligibility is having a minimum of 10 years of work experience. So depending on the ISB program that you're applying to, the minimum eligibility will vary. Is there any entrance exam for ISB? So there is no specific entrance exam for ISB the way you have the CAT or the XAT or the SNAP exams. But for applying to the ISB PGP, YLP or the early entry options, you need to submit a GMAT or a GRE score, and you can schedule it at the convenience of your preparation. Can I get into ISB without CAT? ISB admissions process does not require the CAT scores. The ISB admissions process only accepts the GMAT or the GRE scores. This we are speaking about the ISB YLP, the ISB early entry option and the ISB PGP admission cycle. So there is no requirement of a CAT score. You just need to submit a GMAT or a GRE score. And the admission process is difficult because it is very competitive. Second, because the process has a multitude of things that they will look into. So when ISB looks into your candidature for the application, they will look into your GPA, they will look into your GMAT or GRE scores along with the quality of your work experience, then the essays that you submit, plus the recommendations that you submit. At the end of the cycle, then you have the interview. So all of these aspects are equally important to look into. So that is what makes the ISB admission process difficult. Does ISB consider class 12 marks? We can assume that yes, they do consider the class 12 marks because that is a very important part of your academic performance. Coming from Indian education system, class 10, then class 12, then your undergraduate, and if applicable, your postgraduate as well as your professional certifications. These will all be important for putting up a strong application. What is the lowest score that has been admitted to ISB? So based on the past data that is available, the lowest score on the GMAT that has been admitted to ISB has been around 600, and the lowest score on the GRE which has been admitted to ISB has been around 311. Can I get into ISB with 700? Yes, you can definitely get into ISB with 700. The past range of scores, the GMAT scores that have been admitted to the ISB class have been from the range of 600 till 780. So 700 definitely falls within the range. When you are applying to ISB, it's always a mix of a lot of things, which is your GPA, your past academics, and your GMAT score or your GRE score, then being the quality of your work experience, your essays and the goals that you put forward. Your other aspects would be your recommendation and your strength of your interview performance. So all of these aspects are equally important. Is 720 enough for ISB? 720 on the GMAT score is the average that the ISB has admitted over the past few cycles. So if we say that 720 is enough for ISB, yes, it might be so, but it depends on a lot of other things. For example, what is your GPA? What is the kind of work experience you have? What is the competitiveness that your essay or your aspirations, they communicate through your application. So 720 definitely is the average score that the school has admitted. Is that enough, or is that actually the score that is required? will depend on the evaluation of your GPA, your quality of your work experience, the kind of aspirations you have, the career goals you have, and the strength of the application that you're putting up. Is 750 a good score for ISB? Definitely 750 on the GMAT is a very high score and does speak a lot about your academic capability, and it is definitely a good score for ISB. Having said that, always remember that ISB looks at a lot of other aspects when they are considering your application. That means they will look at your essays, they will look at your work experience, they will look at your preparation for your career goals post ISB, and the quality of the recommendations as well as your performance in the interview. So all of this together goes in for an admit to ISB. Yes, if all other things are taken care of, 750 is definitely a good score for ISB. How to get a 100% scholarship at ISB? And we have applicants who have actually secured a 100% scholarship at ISB. So this is a merit scholarship that you can target for. For the process for the 100% scholarship at ISB, you have to have a good academic record. You should have a good GMAT or a GRE score. Again, the strength of your application, the strength of your recommendations, and the quality of your work experience along with your performance in the interview is something that is definitely going to be important for getting a 100% scholarship at ISB. Having said that, is it impossible to get a 100% scholarship at ISB? No, it is not. You can definitely get a 100% merit-based scholarship at ISB, provided you fulfill all of these aspects in your profile.